For decades now, the Granite School District has spent millions of dollars a year on a fully functioning police department.
That is money that doesn't go to teachers, buildings, or books. Our Beyond the Books unit has been crunching the numbers and finds the odd arrangement has been under attack for at least a decade.
Yeah, guys, last year the Granite School Police Department ate up $4 million in education dollars. That's money that could have paid for 48 new teachers. Opponents say the police department should be shuttered. The district says the department is saving lives.
Where are you at?
Sergeant Jason DeHerrera is a police officer.
What's up, buddy?
With the Granite School District.
What's up, man? How are you?
Today he's on a school campus.
There's gonna be a possible fight today after school.
And he'll help a fellow Granite police officer
Did the officer come in here?
intervene in a potential skirmish.
We're just out here making sure that it doesn't happen.
It's a job.
Copy.
It makes no sense.
People like former state rep Cheryl Allen have said for years can be done much better and cheaper by a traditional police agency like Unified Police.
It just makes more sense to me to have local law enforcement handling it.
The Granite School District Police Department
10-4-1338
has 20 full-time employees and a budget of $4.4 million. This is a district that is in the middle of a teacher shortage and just never seemed to have enough money.
This money could be put many other places because our school districts are not funded appropriately, especially when you consider that there's a teacher shortage.
There's this $3.5 million question happening in Granite School District.
This is Ben Horsley with Granite School.
Having the police presence, does it offset and prevent crime? We believe it does.
We never have enough teachers. $3.5 million would go a long way towards putting a lot of teachers in the classroom.
Absolutely. If you look at that percentage of our overall budget, it's a very small percentage. It's roughly $50, $55 a student.
A small investment, he says, and a necessity for an agency that gets 12,000 calls a year. But Beyond the Books dug into those calls. We found that only 300 of them are for serious crimes like sex assaults, fights, child abuse, and truancy. We found that Granite Police actually spend a considerable amount of time on menial tasks.
Responding to fire alarms, door alarms, boiler alarms, that was 1,100 of your calls. I mean, these officers are spending a lot of time just making sure that a fire alarm didn't accidentally go off.
Because we would need to have resources on the ground in case a boiler goes out in the middle of the night or a pipe freezes, which happens more often than you might think.
Horsley says the Granite School District Police have been in service for 50 years. They serve in some of the highest crime regions in our state. And while Representative Allen has been trying for a decade to shut down the department, she and others have failed.
Certainly cannot be in a situation where we can't have a police officer accessible to our students. That puts our students at risk. That's something our Board of Education is not willing to part with.
During our time with Sergeant DeHerrera, he spent a lot of time looking for that crime, but not really finding it.
Dispatch, did you copy where she's at?
That's time, Representative Allen says, that should be spent in Granite classrooms as a teacher, not a cop.
So you bet there's lots of places they could put that money.
So tomorrow we take a look at the personnel records of the men and women who work for the Granite Police Department. We found that there have been some disciplinary problems with many of their hires in the past, guys.
You know, in this era of school shootings and where they want more and more law enforcement, you know, in the schools, more regulation, I mean, do they feel like that's one of the reasons they're making this big investment?
They feel like that's a good reason to make this investment. They say that many of their officers have prevented Columbine-style massacres in the past, and they say having that officer in the schools is the best way to do that.
There's positives on both sides of the question, and looking forward to your second report.
Yeah, tomorrow.
You got it, Chris. Thanks.
You bet.